dudes and dudettes, Major League Butt Kicking is back in town. All right.
Shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And Rambo: Last Blood might be the This might be the last new Rambo movie that we ever get to do in our life.
I don't care if that motherfucker is 98 years old. I want to see him slinging goddamn Tommy guns and talking about it's a long road when you're on your own.
All these years I've kept my secrets. But the time has come to face my past.
And you gotta give Sylvester Stallone shit tons of fucking credit, dude. Not just for being at the age that he's doing, but still being in love with this shit. Like, he's just doing what he loves, man. He loves action movies. He loves kicking ass.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me Reba McEntire. Ooh, I think that, you know, Sylvester Stallone is the last leftover of that great 80s action surge that we had, 80s and 90s action surge, and he doesn't give a shit to continue to stay in that vein, stay in that moment, and continues giving us badass films like that. Like this one being the prime example of In Last Blood. Man, it was everything that, as far as a Rambo movie, that I wanted to see. When I went and seen it, I'm like, I'm getting every fucking thing I want. I'm getting bloods, I'm getting guts, I'm getting gore. I'm not getting a gratuitous sex scene. That's okay. Maybe later. I didn't get it. But then I'm getting blood, gore, guts, and then don't forget violence and gore.
He doesn't do that in a lot of his movies. If you notice, there's almost always, well, maybe not always, maybe I'm just thinking of like Balboa and certain movies like that. But in a lot of these movies, you think that there's a girl that him as the main guy is gonna bang.
I think I was thinking more of I think it was thinking more of a Steven Seagal. I was like, oh yeah, I like that. Steven Seagal had like a fuck scene with every girl that he ever had. Like it just, maybe that's what I was thinking.
I feel like Steven Seagal behind the scenes is like standing there, and he's just like, there's like a lunch lady walking by. He's like, come here, I want to have sex with her. And they're like, dude, she's the lunch lady, Steve. She's not even in the plot. He's like, write it in. I want to have sex with that.
He goes like this with his hand. He's like, I don't care.
Haven't made me a sloppy Joe.
You know, you shouldn't knock Chinese potions. I have something in my pocket right now that'll completely clear up that bruise on your forehead.
What bruise?
That bruise.
Just don't listen to the reviews of it because it's all political shit.
But as far
as a good Rambo movie,
yeah, man. At the end of the day,
good.
I walked out of that motherfucker, and I'm already wearing a plaid shirt. I really wanted just to go. I wanted to go get some meat and potatoes and fucking have a Budweiser and watch football. Like, I don't know, man. It was so energetic and so like enthralling as far as the film goes. It really drew me in, and like the story and stuff like that. I mean, it's a Rambo film. The only Rambo movie besides maybe Part 2 that I was really into as far as the story and you know what was going on was maybe The First Blood, which is still the best of all time. That was the only one that I was really involved in the story. But not say that this story is bad, but it's
entrancing.
Yeah, I thought you said it was enchanting.
It's intoxicating.
Listen, it's not Ramonina.
It's erotic.
It is erotic. When the fucking gore and the violence start happening, the very first moment of that, when the fucking Rambo dude, it breaks a dude's collarbone and is doing this shit with it back and forth, like he's goddamn wax oning and wax offing, and he's like, just tell me where she is now. I'm like, oh my god,
he rips off layers of people's skin,
and dude, they show it, man. They go deep in that fucker. And again, and I also will point out that the practical effects were fucking badass. Again, something that's sorely missing in today's world.
And there's nothing they can do to stop it.
And the revenge scene takes over like the last like half an hour of the movie, like the big fucking blowout action scene, and it's totally worth it. And I think what this director did really good was all the shots were like super up close to people's faces, sometimes to an awkward point. Like the camera's like right up in people's faces when they're speaking, and it feels weird when they're talking at the beginning of the movie, but when he starts to go on the trail and starts to track shit down and he's pissed, like when he finds out what happens, he gets in his truck and he drives off and you're just thinking, man, he's gonna fuck shit
up. I got pissed with him. Go get him, John!
I felt it. Like I could feel his anger.
It was good.
And he goes and like the first person, like he sees, like he opens the door up and he like slams his hands behind him on the door, and it like jumped me in my seat because it's all so up close and so loud and in your face. Like I really felt like Rambo's anger in this entire movie, and that's a testament to Stallone and how good he is. But the movie, the only thing bad I'll say about it is it's rough around the edges. Some of the dialogue points could have been a little bit better. Some of the story points could have been a little bit better. The ending as a whole is fucking amazing, but the very, 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 like the dialogue of the ending, the way the movie goes to the credits, I'll say, is kind of clunky.
Also the thing is, I didn't think there was that many guys. Like, you know, that when you know, at the end, and then it's like, I was like, where the fuck did these extra dudes come in? I was like, were they just grabbing extras from the street? They're like, he's killing everything.
Yeah, it's like, it looks like 20 people ran up to the ranch, but I'm pretty sure he killed 2,000.
It was like, they just sent out a fucking red balloon of like, anybody that wants to get killed by Rambo, come on. And he's like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
We'll be doing it and doing it and doing it well.
And it sucks. I really wanted to see a Yoda or a fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi ghost scene with Colonel Troutman. He's like, it's over. Rambo's like, nothing is over. Nothing.
There's a really cool, not post-credit sequence, but they do a nice homage to Rambo in the post-credits, so it's a nice thing to
I didn't know they had a post-credit scene.
No, it's not a post-credit scene, but when the credits come up, where they show like all the old movies and shit like that.
That's badass.
Really,
I didn't see.
cool.
I will see as soon as the you know, directed by thing I left.
But the last thing I'll say is that halfway through this movie, I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, man, this is just one of those movies that you just don't get bored watching.
No.
Like, the entire fucking time, I never checked my watch. I never thought like, okay, well, is the end coming up soon? I've got shit to do. The entire time, it wasn't my favorite Rambo movie.
I'm gonna go blow dry my
like
hair.
I said, there was clunky stuff about it, but and it's not like a movie. It's not like I cried or anything like that. It didn't really fucking land emotionally or anything like that. It doesn't need to. It's a Rambo movie. I mean, Rambo has landed emotionally.
The first blood, yeah, for sure.
But it was just a really good Rambo film, and the action and the gore and the shit they did with several points in the movie, the last set piece especially, was just so well done, and it was so just fucking poignant, you know, that it landed everything it wanted to land. It was just a good, entertaining movie, and one of the better movies in the Rambo franchise, a franchise that doesn't have. Really, the third one's the only one that you'd be like, that one's kind of a stinker. I still even like that movie. So it's rare that you get 5 movies, whereas only one of them is kind of like, you know. But
a little bit of goddamn video game.
4 out of 5 are like generally understood. Like, these are pretty good damn movies. So that's amazing for a franchise. So if this is the end of the day for Rambo, went out on a bang, and I fucking hang my hat to Sylvester Stallone. He's like, think about all the action movies you've gotten over the past like 10 years, and how many of them he's had a hand in. Just bring me back that old school 80s, 90s testosterone. If it weren't for Stallone still being alive and still fucking kicking ass and being a badass, and Schwarzenegger, of course, as well, we wouldn't have even gotten these throwbacks to these awesome moments. So I salute you, sir. Amazing fucking job. I give the movie an 8.0. It's really more of a 7.5 overall, but I bump it to an 8 just because I love Sylvester Stallone so fucking much, and I respect this movie, and it's getting shit on unfairly. So
I'm gonna give it a 9, dude. I liked it that fucking much. Like, it was one of those movies that like, it's been a while. Like, I've actually walked out of the theater and just be like, fuck yeah, I would go back around and watch that goddamn movie again.
I could.
It was one of those movies that was so good that if there was a double feature happening, I'd go stick to this theater and watch it again. Like, it was like, and again, Sylvester Stallone is one of those guys that can draw you in like nobody's business. Like in those Rocky films, and even though people have said Rocky and Rambo are repetitive and they're the same story with different kind of layerings on top of it, it doesn't matter even if that's true. It's not true, but even if that were true, it would still be enough because he is so good at pulling people into that moment, that character, that happening, that you're going to enjoy what he's going to show you. And Rambo has always been a unique individual because it's a dying breed, and that's sad to say. In our world and the time that we live in, Rambo is one of the last few bastions of what it used to be like to go have fun and watch action films as a kid. Like, there's not many of those left. Like Rocky and Rambo, yes, and that's it. I mean, I can't think of any other series that's really lasted and stood the test of time like those. Well, not that
they tried, but yeah,
not that's like continuing to be made and added onto.
Death is coming.
Back there, I can fly a gunship. I can drive a tank. Back here, I can't hold a job. Fucking cars! Fucking cars! Fucking cars! And I'm just really happy that Sly made the movie, and I'm really happy that he fucking went all out with the movie, and he didn't let the bullshit that's surrounding him, you know, all the little whores with their fucking little wings flying around, like, oh my god, blood, get away! Like, I'm glad that he was like, fuck it, and you know, he basically stood his ground in the sand, like fucking Rambo 3, and was like, they're surrounding us, Rambo. What should we do? He's like, fuck them, spread it on. I love it, man. 9.0, 8.0 for you. Definitely, if you're a Rambo fan, go check it out. If you're just an action junkie, go check it out. Yeah. Like, it's that good. It really is a great movie, man.
Absolutely, man. Comment down below what are your all's thoughts. We love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn fucking Rambo in you.
You know, Rambo's also one of those movies that always made you feel like when you if you ever got wounded, if you could actually pull that shit off, like in Rambo 3 when he fucking puts that gunpowder and he's like, oh Jesus!
Yeah, no, I would just sit there and scream at it.
I would just, there's a hole in my fucking stomach. I wasn't aware the Wachati were biters.
It's in the bone. It's in the bone.
watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie.